Ernie Johnson has just revealed the All-Star starters, and our boy Jalen Brunson has just been disrespected. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy from Knicks Digest. And yeah, man, Ernie Johnson just got finished revealing the All-Star starters for the East and West. And unfortunately, Damian Lillard was able to get the starting nod over Jalen Brunson. In my opinion, it's definitely because of name recognition. Jalen Brunson still doesn't have that name that has the same effect as when you say Damian Lillard. I get it. Damian Lillard has had more moments, if you will, playoff moments, buzzer beaters, and he has that classic Dame time. That's good marketing by Damian Lillard. But it's a little unfortunate, man. Jalen Brunson is having an amazing season so far. And in my opinion, he should have been an all-star last season as opposed to Julius Randle. But that's neither here nor there. But if we dive into the numbers, the media voted Jalen Brunson second and Damian Lillard fifth. As far as how the weight of the votes go, the media gets 25%. The players get 25 and the fans have 50%. Now, I think that's where Jalen Brunson, that's where he had a lot to catch up. The fans having 50% of the votes is what helped Damian Lillard so much. Like I just talked about, a whole Dame time. That was a great marketing strategy. And of course, it fit his type of player, how he comes up clutch whenever it matters. And the fans, they just love and they eat all that up. But going back into the numbers, if we take a look at the head-to-head matchups between Jalen Brunson and Damian Lillard, yeah, Damian Lillard has the advantage 3-1, but of course, Damian Lillard has Giannis Antetokounmpo. But if we take a look at the stats for the overall season, Jalen Brunson has 26.6 compared to Damian Lillard's 25.3. The rebounds, Jalen Brunson basically 4. Damian Lillard 4.3. Assists, Jalen Brunson 6.5. Damian Lillard 6.8. Field goal percentage, Jalen Brunson is hitting 47%. Damian Lillard is at 42%. 3-point field goal percentage, 42% for Jalen Brunson and 34% for Damian Lillard. A lot of those numbers are pretty identical if you're comparing the two players. But in my opinion, the reason why I think Jalen Brunson should deserve that starting nod over Damian Lillard is, one, Damian Lillard, yeah, we get it. Top 75 player of all time, no question about that. But his transition from the Portland Trailblazers to the Milwaukee Bucks has been incredibly shaky. That's one. Two, Damian Lillard, if you're talking about defense and if you're looking for a defensive stop, Damian Lillard is definitely not the player that you think about. If you watch the games when he's going up against the elite point guards or the elite guards, not even in the NBA, just in the Eastern Conference, we're talking about Halliburton, we're talking about Maxey, and throw Jalen Brunson in that as well. He is getting cooked. His rap as far as defense hasn't been great, but I feel like the older and older he gets, his defensive prowess is just getting really, really bad. And I feel like the guards are really attacking him, and they're really making it a note to attack him on offense. But going back to the whole Damian Lillard transition to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, Adrian Griffin just got fired. I believe it was yesterday. And now Doc Rivers is going to be the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. In my opinion, that's a parallel move. I'm not sure how much better Doc Rivers makes the Milwaukee Bucks as far as X's and O's. That's great. But what is Doc Rivers going to do when it's crunch time? When maybe it's a game 7 and it's 2 minutes to go and the game is tied? What's Doc Rivers going to do? And based off his history, he's not a good adjustment type of coach. He likes to stick to what he knows. He likes to stick to his strategy, his schemes. And then when he gets hit in the face, he doesn't really adjust. Look at the examples for the LA Clippers. Look at the example last season with the Philadelphia 76ers. He just has a lot of examples that aren't great. The transition for Damian Lillard to go and play with another top 75 player, I do understand that in order to maximize the most you can out of a team, you do need to develop chemistry. And to develop chemistry, you need time. And especially with two monster players of Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo's caliber, that's going to take time. But you can also say that maybe a lot of people are surprised as to how long it's taken. And we can say that Damian Lillard still fully doesn't feel, or he still doesn't fully look like he's adjusted to the Milwaukee Bucks. It still kind of looks like Damian Lillard is feeling out Giannis, and it's kind of a your turn, my turn kind of thing, which in past history we know doesn't really work. There needs to be some sort of system implemented into the offense, and that accentuates Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo's skills and talents. So having said all that, since Damian Lillard has had a hard time transitioning to the Milwaukee Bucks, I feel like the starting nod should have went to Jalen Brunson, because Jalen Brunson, even though he had maybe like the first 2 weeks of the season was a little bit of a hiccup, after the first 2 weeks, his shooting numbers really improved. And again, can we talk about the impact that he's had on the New York Knicks organization? I just told you how the voting broke down between the media, the fans, and the coaches. Fans had 50%. The media had 25, and then players had 25. But man, I just wish that the fans knew how much Jalen Brunson has impacted the Knicks. Jalen Brunson has the opportunity to become one of, if not the best Knick. What he needs to do in order to become the best Knick, he needs rings, obviously. There's this whole conversation of people putting certain players in the GOAT conversation because of rings alone. Now, I don't abide by that. I am someone who looks at what type of player were you? Were you the best player on your team? Were you the second best or third best player on the team? What kind of skills did you bring to the table? How did you react in certain situations? Like a Scottie Pippen, who, second best player next to Michael Jordan. But when Michael Jordan retired for that year and a half, and Scottie was the man on the team, Game 7 against the Knicks, Phil Jackson drew the play up for Tony Kukoc. He didn't draw the play up for Scottie Pippen. So that should say a lot. But going back to Jalen Brunson, I just wish that fans knew how much of an impact he's had on the Knicks organization and how much of a ceiling this guy has. As far as a point guard, this is the best point guard the Knicks have had, arguably since Walt Clyde Frazier or Earl the Pearl Monroe. Now, every point guard that we've had since, the Charlie Wards, the Howard Isleys, the Stephon Marburys, the Raymond Feltons, the Mark Jacksons, the Rod Stricklands, compare the skill set that Jalen Brunson has to those players. Jalen Brunson blows them out of the water, in my opinion. The only reason why I have Earl the Pearl Monroe and Walt Clyde Frazier as the best point guards in Knicks history is because they got that championship ring. Wrong finger. They got that championship ring in order to back it up. Jalen Brunson, hopefully moving forward, the Knicks organization, we know what we have with him. Hopefully moving forward, we put the right pieces around him. And we get to see what the potential of Jalen Brunson, if he reaches his maximum potential with the New York Knicks. Hopefully he does, but we get to see what it looks like. Now, today, the All-Star starters have been revealed. Jalen Brunson will be an All-Star. Next week, Ernie Johnson and the Inside the NBA crew, they're going to reveal the All-Star reserves. I am 100% sure that Jalen Brunson will be on that list. So Jalen Brunson will be attending the All-Star game in Indianapolis this season. But it's just a little sad that Jalen Brunson has not been able to get the recognition that he deserves as an all-star starter. Looking back on Jalen Brunson's resume, he will be able to say that he is an NBA all-star. But unfortunately, as of now, he can't say that he is an all-star starter. So it looks like this is going to be the first all-star game of many all-star games for Jalen Brunson. I can't wait till next week to see Ernie Johnson call out his name and say NBA first-time all-star player Jalen Brunson. But that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you for checking out the video. Leave it in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Do you think Jalen Brunson deserves to be an all-star starter? Or do you think Damian Lillard deserved that all-star starting spot? But until next time, guys, I'll catch you on the next video, and go Knicks, baby.